funny because Islam claims to love Mary a lot, but these writings are filthy. Like they're writings about how Mary like went to the bathroom and stuff like that. And it's like, so he's a Christian, so he's trying to actually understand why Muslims think like this, like where you can think of somebody being so loving that God has shown. Like, why do you think of that? And he breaks it down through the Gnostic sort of influence in Islam. It totally connected, totally checked out.
Well, that is interesting because there are definitely a lot of Gnostic stories that are included in the Quran. Like Jesus creating a bird out of clay is like a Gnostic text.
It is, yeah.
Guys, can someone check the TikTok, YouTube? Just make sure it has audio.
I can check again.
You said it didn't have it, right? Something a lot of people saying. Alright, we'll make a post on my Instagram that we're live.
Yeah, you're live. I can hear you.
Cool. You might be click clacking.
Yeah, there's audio now.
Yeah.
Bet.
Hey Sam, have you done any of that stuff I told you about to help you lucid dream?
I haven't, man. I haven't. Nah. But one day, I'll do it, man. Just right now, it's just I don't know if I'm ready for lucid dreaming at this moment in life, but I think it's really cool as a concept. I will. Una dia.
I like the saying that I think it goes something like only true wisdom is gained in a lucid dream, because it's like you're talking to your like deepest subconscious.
Is there a technique to lucid dream? I've never actually lucid dreamed before, so I don't know how.
So the one that I found that works the most is have something like you can put on the back of your hand, and just like anything, it can be any kind of mark that just reminds you to think if you're dreaming or not. So you'll do that like consistently for like several days in a row, where just the thought of am I dreaming or not just is constantly popping in your head, and then it will get you to kind of trigger that thought while you're dreaming.
I see. Do you keep a sleep journal or
Yeah.
dream journal?
I have both a dream journal and an exclusively lucid dream journal as well.
Sweet.
Because at first it's really easy to get distracted with like doing things like creating things or like flying or like teleporting, doing all that stuff. Like it's really fun, but you don't really like learn anything deep with that. What the deep knowledge comes is when you start to talk to the people in your dreams.
Interesting. Never experienced that, so.
Like it's like a muscle you can kind of, because I have like probably at least one lucid dream a week. Like once you get yourself into that like that mindset, it's like a muscle you're working, and then you start to like realize you're dreaming more and more often.
Do you take any teas to help you with that?
Herbal tea? Yeah, herbal tea. Like,
I also take a lot of lion's mane mushroom.
Okay.
It helps you like remember your dreams in general.
I have only ever lucid dreamed with like those sleep teas, like with Damiana and Blue Lotus, those herbs, and that gives me the boost I need. Like I meditate like 30 minutes before, and then down like 3 cups of Blue Lotus and Damiana.
And having conversation, it's like funny. Like the couple times I've actually had conversations about lucid dreams, like even the last time. One of the times, Sam, you actually left, and I had a conversation for like a half an hour on your live while you were somewhere else about lucid dreaming. And then that night, I had a lucid dream, because even like talking about like lucid dreaming kind of helps trigger that idea.
Yeah.
Every time I have too, it starts with me like seeing like something that would be in my normal life, or like a number or a clock or something, and I'll be like, that's not the way it is in my normal life, and then that triggers the thing. Oh, that means I'm in a dream, you know.
Yeah, one of my last ones, I was because I knew I had to like go to work soon because I was taking that before I went to work. So I like in my dream started thinking, oh, I have to go to work soon, and I started looking around at clocks, and all the clocks like had different times on them. And then I looked at my phone, and my phone had like only the minutes but not the hour, and I was like, there's no way all these clocks are broken.
Right, or it's just a blur, like it's just like like bubbling numbers.
Yo, Deval's a Hindu brother. Everyone, yo, follow Deval. Let's get him up to followers. I'm down. You know, he's a Hindu homie. Yeah, there's a disagreement. It's all good. He can't have live access. I want to get live access. He's Hindu. He's a homie. Everyone just follow Deval if you can. You know, I followed him. Yeah. It's all good. We'll see if we can get his cover up. He DM'd me saying, "Look, I understand that you have your issues with Islam, alhamdulillah," which yeah, of course we have our issues, right, with this philosophy, that religion. But he's like, don't let it corrupt your understanding of Palestine, right? These are different issues, which I understand. They are different issues, and in many ways we can understand it that way, right? We can be fair. But I'm curious. Hi, what's up, Lucille? The Stoic. We're just talking about you earlier. Just talking about how you're homie. But yeah, I mean, he was telling me that he's like, "Yo, don't get blinded." I'm like, "Well, I'm not blinded. Nobody's blinded."
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it like this is a Hinduism live, right? And I'm sure maybe you guys would even disagree with me on some of my takes in other ways, right? But like that's just normal, like and then we all come together on lives for a singular interest that we share. It doesn't mean we share all our takes.
And Deval, if you also want to talk to us on YouTube, we're streaming on YouTube, so I'll be checking out the YouTube chat. Someone asked me on YouTube, how do I help with anxiety? Would meditation help, or maybe journaling or something? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna put this on Lando.
Oh, I love this question because Hinduism has helped me deal with a lot of anxiety. So first thing for anxiety to help from a Hindu's perspective is realize that the concept of like the future and the past isn't real. So that's the first thing that really helped me. Like, so all your future fears, like all your anxieties about the future, that's not real. Like they're all just machinations, illusions in your head. Like all that's real right now is like your breath and your present moment and your feet. And you can help yourself by to attach to the present by there's an old method. It's the five senses. So like what's something that you can see in your room? What's something that you can smell? What's something that you can hear, touch, and taste, right? Just right there in that present moment. That'll bring you back into your body, into your mula, the base of your spine, right? And then the other thing is like your past isn't real either. So like if you have regrets and depressions and failures and disappointments, those aren't real. That's just an illusion, a collaboration of electricity in your brain. It's not real. Those are it's an idea. Like our memories shift over time too. Like your memories could be false. It's just not real. The only thing that's real is this present moment, right? So just like be present in that present moment, like any of your fears of the future, that's just your mind, that's just a thought, and you're not your thoughts. And meditation helps with that. Meditation helps with if you sit and you just focus on your breathing, it'll help a lot.
But you talk about all day anxiety?
What was that?
Are you saying that he's dealing with anxiety all day?
Yeah, well, sometimes like I used to deal with anxiety all day too, but all it would take me is meditating for like 20 minutes and being the present, and that peace would carry me through the day. Forward. Yeah. And then it would build up more and more and more, like taking a medicine, like it builds up in your system. Yeah.
That makes sense, DJ. Why don't you try that? Try that, right? What kind of meditation, like what is a form of meditation that you would recommend?
I would recommend like a pranayama one, like one where you maybe like I forgot the name of it exactly. The nostril one, that one exactly. Yeah, so you
that's another one.
So like so I would
substitute for actual exercise, breathing one through the nostril.
Right, and I do 5 seconds in one nostril, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds out the other, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds in the other, and then you rotate back and forth.
Right. Yeah. There's a mantra we chant for it too, DJ Rain. Look up Pranayama Gayatri Mantra. And as you're doing it, in your head, you're reciting the mantra until you finish reciting the mantra, then you hold, recite the rest of the mantra, and then finish the mantra on the way out. Soham is another one. Yo, with 267, go to, Soham. Soham. Do you know what soham means? Saha aham. Saha plus aham is soham. Saha is
Um,
he and aham. He is me. Referring to Shiva in this case. I am him.
mm, that's a good
I
one.
am Shiva. So right, that even just that recitation, the
Yeah,
vibrations in the vocal cords, that has profound effects on helping with anxiety and clarity, and for sure, man, for sure. It's dope. Look at that, man. Maybe we'll put that on the live. That's all good. Yo,
yeah.
guys, tap the live some more. Tap the live.
Anxiety
Appreciate it.
is truly a curse of being human. You know, we're just evolved to think a bunch, but we're not evolved enough to be spiritually aware. You know, it's really a human centric curse. You know, so I empathize with people with anxiety.
What's the Hindu answer? Why is there something instead of nothing? What a beautiful question, Smelza. Maybe the question is so profound that maybe you'll stop being an atheist. Maybe you'll start becoming a God-fearing Hindu.
Gotta
How about
be.
that, Spinoza? Are you ready for that answer? Soham. Soham means I am him. Him referring to God. I am God. Soham. Saha is him and aham is I. I am him. Right? It's an affirmation of non-duality. Right? I am that. So Saha. I am him, I am that. Same thing. Saha means he. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I am that. Om Mani Padme Hum. Look at that, Lucio. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's the Buddhist chant. Tap 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 tap. Let's get this live going. Let's get this live popping. Man, No Man was so entertaining.
I wanted to. I just find it. I was thinking, like while I was getting my drink, it's just like why is it so inconceivable that like God could be anywhere? And like what do they mean when like when I asked him, he's like, well, yeah, God is within you. Like in what way then? If he can't be within like the very like unitary cellular core of my being, right? Like at the consciousness level,
Yeah.
right? Then what is he like? Is he like a guy in my head or like what do they mean? Is he just in my heart? Is it I don't know, like because I believe that like God is consciousness itself, right? He's the unitary one consciousness of everything, right? And
Yeah.
I am an expression of that seed, right? Of consciousness.
Those are the two questions. Why is God in the toilet? And why do you verse men with
No,
meaning?
you forgot
So,
what is time. Yeah.
and then how do you explain away verses like, I mean, you can explain it away, it's not difficult, but like there's verses in the Quran that say, God is closer to you than your jugular vein. So it's exactly what you just asked, right? Like, okay, and how is that then? Like,
Yeah.
how is he closer to me? Because my jugular vein pretty close to me. It's
Right.
inside of me. It's literally inside of me.
Oh, Lucille, assalamu alaikum, sister.
Hello, namaste, Sami. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah,
See
how is
that?
everyone?
I said salam alaikum, and she said namaste. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still awake.
You're waking up?
Yeah, I woke up. Yeah, so I'm following Stoicism. So Stoicism is close to Shiva Shakti views.
It
They
is.
have
You know,
similar.
since last time, I think Mal is in this. Guys, by the way, I gotta do it. I didn't even get to do it. Yo, Mal, are you still here? Is Mal still here? You see Malika? I'm gonna add her. Follow this account, everyone. We're gonna get her to 200. I promise you, the live quality will be so much fun if we get her the live access. It does work. I got my live access on my account. I thought at 200 wasn't gonna work, but it did. It just took a few days. But yeah, guys, let's get Malika. Let Malika just say hi. Nai, say hi too. Look at both of you. Oh my god, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun. But anyways, yeah. So we looked into Stoicism, and it is so identical, nearly identical to
Marcus
what
Aurelius is a
Advaita philosophy is. Yeah, Shiva Shakti, right? There are two planes, right? You have consciousness, and then you have the material, and the material creation is in flux and is in motion of reality, right? And it's not conscious. It's not conscious like omnipotent being that's causing things to happen, right? This is part of the nature of the world, nature of the universe. What did Gul
Yes.
say?
Yes, I agree with it. Yeah. So the logos is
The
like the
logo.
dynamic. Yeah, the dynamic, and the God, okay, is Shiva,
Yeah,
God of
yeah.
atoms. Atoms are atoms, and the dynamic part is the Shakti, or we call it logos. So it is a
Logos.
close.
Yes,
that-
logos was that word. That's the word we read. Yeah, Malika and I, we did some research on it, and we came across it, and it's beautiful, beautiful,
That
beautiful
takes me
stuff.
yes,
way back.
active and passive. Yeah, the whole word is active and passive,
Yeah.
dynamic and static.
The
Dynamic and
concept of
static, right?
logos is super interesting.
And we say that the divine masculine, right? That is the static, and the divine feminine is the one in flux, in dynamicism.
Yeah, very good. That is Shakti.
That is Shakti.
Yeah, you can call it Shakti, or you can call it that, I guess, like
Logos,
this.
yeah, absolutely. And whatever.
You also know apparently quantum physics is fairy tales. Apparently dynamic particles and static.
Yeah, it's all very dope.
It's all fairy tales.
It's just like one of those things where it's just like you think you know a bunch. It's Dunning Kruger. Like you think you know a bunch, and then it's only because you haven't gone deep enough into any of those subjects. You know, like the time.
Right.
It's like, oh, look at the definition. Google the definition of time. But then it's just like, okay, but like then that doesn't explain everything. What about the theory of time? What is the substance of time? Is time relational to anything else? Like you're just saying like what we already know about time. You know, that's my problem.
Aren't talking about repentance. We don't repent in Hinduism. There's no repent. I don't know actually what does repent mean. Maybe let me look up what repent.
Well, I don't think there's there's no repent in Hinduism because there's nothing to forgive. It's just like once you change your ways, that
You
is
can feel remorse. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this idea we can feel remorse and say sorry. Absolutely, right? Kshama, forgiveness. But I guess it's more of a that's an internal.
I think it's that our God doesn't require it of us. You know, like our God's not going to punish us if you don't like repent in some way, right? But I would say that like if you show remorse for bad actions, that's just a fruit, a sign that you're someone that's more evolved because like you're learning, right? So again, it's one of those you'll know them by their fruit things where it's like if someone who's unremorseful, you'll know not to be really around that person because they don't ever learn from anything and they're stuck.
Mhm.
Now, like Swami Mukundananda and a lot of Vedic texts will like, and the Upanishads, like, like there's a lot of significance for humility, right? But I wouldn't say that repentance is necessary for humility, but being humble is like a very important thing in a lot of the stories and texts.
I think to dissolve your ego, ahankar.
Right, exactly. Because it's like you can't let God in at all if you're, you think you're, the top dog and everything around you, right?
Correct. 100%.
Which I think even like Christians understand that concept too. I think they even like have little like cartoons. They have little cartoons where it's like God's trying to like has like Jesus like knocking on your door, but you're so busy, that you don't answer the door, right? And it's the same thing. It's like, well, if your ego's so strong, you'll never listen to the divinity that's always talking to you.
Stoicism. I've actually never looked into Stoicism at all.
Really cool.
You should read
It's it's eerily similar to Hinduism, and just
What's like the essence of it? Like
read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Okay.
it's literally the same thing, right? And it's Greek philosophy, and so it's a way of understanding Greek philosophy as they're all manifestations of the one supreme being, which they'll often identify as Zeus, but it'll be like they're all the formations of the one, and that there's two, right? The logos is so there's just two layers of reality. You have consciousness,
Mhm.
and then you have logos, and logos is prakriti. It's just the motions of the order of the universe, right? The rhythm, that's what we would say.
So I do know that they have some concept of like logic as a means of understanding reality. So we also have that in Advaita, like self-inquiry, Atma Vichar, and
Yeah,
Viveka.
yeah, yeah. But that's not what logos is. Logos is not
Okay.
logic. Logos is order.
Oh, I
That's
see.
good.
Okay.
Like in linguistics too, we talk about like logography is
Mhm.
like the study of like the symbol. So like Chinese language as a written system is a logographic system because
Yeah.
the characters they write are symbols for like what they're talking about, right? Because logos is like the kind of like as Plato talks about like the prime principle abstract form, the idealized form category that things fit into, right?
Right.
Which is kind of like Maya, if like you think about it. It's like our illusions of Maya, and it's in flux. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lucille, I have a question with Stoicism. Is there a devotional aspect? Is there a bhakti, or is it just sort of you kind of philosophically recognize
They
these?
really emphasize reason above all else. So
Okay,
like,
that's reason. Jnanam.
Jnana. Yeah, mostly Vichara.
yeah. So like, there's a lot of like proverbs in or like parables in Stoicism where it's like, it's all about you have two horses and one is your emotions and one is your reason, and you keep your horses in check. And that's how to live a fruitful, virtuous life. A lot of virtue ethics.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do they have certain like detachment? Like we have concept of vairagya, or like freedom from suffering.
They push that, but like it's not as hard as like Advaita Vedanta in the terms of like completely like realizing the self. It's more just like don't ever get caught up in your emotions. Like you own your emotions don't own you. Like control the places you go. Like one of the proverbs is like, you know, you can never control what happens to you. Like you live in the flux of logos, like Sammy was saying, you live in this flux, but you can control how you react to it. So you're always in control of the things that you can control. And it's kind of understanding that and then, doing what you can in the world around you. Right.
So it's just kind of disregarding bhakti from a Hindu point of view, right?
Yeah.
More like just gyan, like pure
Yeah.
logic and reasoning.
Yeah. I don't I could be screwing up my historiography here, but like even like bhakti itself becomes much more popular after the time that Stoicism grew in India, even too. So it kind of was during the time, even in India as well as Greece, this kind of like jnana, knowledge based, reason based thinking. So they just push that a lot more. Yeah, I haven't read anything that's like there's like devotion in the sense of to your ancestors for falling into the pitfalls before you so that you can learn from them, and giving you the wisdom. But that's about it, I'd say. Like a lot of like the best emperors of Rome embrace Stoic philosophy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so why Marcus Aurelius Meditations is such a good like piece of text is like this was a man who quite literally like owned the world. Like he could do anything. He was above everybody, and he like could do anything he wanted, right? And he still held himself to such a virtuous standard, right? And so we still like we look back at this text and we're like this man like held himself in such like most of us would go crazy in degeneracy with like the power this man had, and no one could stop him, but he still lived a reasonable self-limited, moderated, dutiful life, right? Because he knew that actually leads in the end to more happiness.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's really good way.
Don't do this. I don't want this one. I want this one. That is actually so beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm a so Have you guys heard the story of Harishchandra, of the king Harishchandra?
Harish Chandra. No.
Fun fact: the very first Indian, I don't want to say Bollywood. I guess Bollywood doesn't really exist like that, but it's a silent film. The
Mhm.
very first Indian film ever produced is about Satya Harishchandra. Fun fact. The story, it's on YouTube or whatever, the silent film. It is the oldest Indian film.
Chandra. Okay.
But like it's the first Indian film. It's a Puranic story, I think. And someone check me out. It's a Puranic story. I don't know where it comes from. And basically, this king he's Satya, right? He tells the truth. He follows his word, and so he upsets or he disturbs the guru during meditation or one of the rishis. I think it's Vashishta or one of them. Maybe not Vashishta. And he disturbs his meditation. He's like, "Well, I'll do anything for you." And the guy's like, "Okay, well, give me everything. I want your family. I want your kingdom. I want your house. I want the clothes off your back." And he's like, "Dang, okay." So he goes through it, and he goes through the worst trials and tribulations imaginable. In fact, he gives so much that he's trying to get more, and he has to end up putting himself through bonded labor because he owes a debt. And so he's sold to someone to do the cremation grounds, so he does free work for them. And then at the end of it, it turns out that Shiva is kind of behind it all and is testing him. And it ends quite tragically, but then Shiva and Parvati show up at the end of it and say, "You are the ultimate truth. You've done all of this." And he went through the trials and tribulation, and it almost is like a book of Job in
Mm.
that way. It
Mm.
is our version of it in a sense. And it comes out with he is given moksha again, supreme, and he is able to live next to Shiva. He's a huge Shiva bhakt. He's now able to live with Shiva in Kailash in moksha. And yeah, to me, it's such a interesting idea of complete self devotion, sticking to your word, and surrendering everything because that's what Dharma is about. In this case, he's a Shiva devotee, but none of the work is being done to Shiva. It is simply for Dharma, right? And Dharma is I will follow what I say. I'm a man of my word. And I think it's such an interesting story about what that means in the Hindu context. God is completely removed from that particular scenario.
It says like it's inspired by Ramayana and Mahabharata.
What do you mean? It's inspired by it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it says. It says the essence is true from the storyline and character directly from the Hindu. Truthful of the virtuous king Harishchandra, as described in the great epic Ramayana and Mahabharata. So,
Okay, so it's from there. Okay, it appears in many. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's from all of it.
yeah. Celebrated as honesty and adherence to Dharma, the story of sacrifice and divine redemption. Oh, I've actually never seen it. I want to check it out.
Well, my dad taught me this when I was a kid. I cried. He told me this. I was like
Oh,
11 years old or something. So sad. He lost everything. It's a king, but he did it all because that was his duty. I think that's so. I don't know. I think about that. Right. That's virtue, is putting your whole life for the sake of doing what's right. No matter how self-destructive it appears to be, you're doing the right thing.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, have you guys heard the story of like Vishnu with where Narada is like asking Vishnu, he like Narada thinks he's Vishnu's greatest devotee, right? And Vishnu shows him, "Oh no, you're not my greatest devotee. It's this I forgot, Muthu Mohan guy." And then Narada in his anger is like, "Oh, how could this guy be a greater devotee than me? Like I sing your praises all day. I write these poetries. You know, I can fly and everything. Like I have boons from Brahma and you and everybody." And he goes and sees this Muthu Mohan guy on his traveling sitar, right? And Muthu Mohan is just like this peasant, and he only gives a 2-minute prayer to Vishnu at the end of the day. And he goes to Vishnu then, Narada does, and he's like, "Well, this guy only spends 2 minutes thinking about you. 2 minutes, a 2-minute prayer, and I sing your praises by the day." So what Vishnu does, Vishnu gives him, he says, "Hey, circumambulate the entire town with no powers, none of my boons, put this oil wick on your head and let it burn, and don't let any of the oil spill, right? And so he has to go around the whole city, and he does, and he comes back all prideful. And then Vishnu says, how much were you thinking about me when you did that?
Mhm.
And then Narada realized, like, oh, not at all, because I was so focused on my
candle.
the oil not spilling, right? So the point is like even this poor man who is like he's just like a rice farmer or something, right? And he only does a 2-minute prayer. Is that in his work, in his daily duties, he's thinking about Vishnu, right? So that's
Man,
like
so I heard that when I was a kid. I
yeah,
remember learning that in Chinmaya, and you just brought back some memories.
it comes from a book I have called Ganesha Goes to Lunch, and it's all the classics of India.
Yeah, that's a classic
Yeah.
story.
I think that's the
Yeah.
first one actually. Yeah. But I really love that story because it shows like I don't have to. You don't necessarily have to be a monk or have to like, prostrate yourself. It's that do you hold God in your heart when you do your daily tasks all day? So like when we're all holding our own little candle wicks on our head, right? Doing our daily duties, right? Are you thinking about God? That's what He values.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. I love the way that Narada gets owned sometimes. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I love how
He
he's just
always needs to be put in this place sometimes. No. That's what he always says. And have you ever watched the stories or watched the movies? I don't know if you've seen it like that, but he's always playing those things. And every time he talks,
I only
he's
see
like a
the
Pokemon.
artistic
He's
representations.
he's like the Meowth of Hindu
Oh,
mythology.
okay.
So
He's
every
what?
time he talks, but then he's like Meowth. That's right. Meowth says that.
Yeah.
So he always says Meowth. So for him, it's Narayana, and then he
Oh, okay.
talks,
I see.
and then he says what he needs to say. But that's just the class. It's Narada.
I gotta see that. I always see him. He's like on a cloud, or
Yeah, he's on Nimbus.
yeah, he's like traveling really fast, or like in that story, he like after he finds that Muhu Mohan is the greatest devotee, he goes to the Himalayas to cry. He travels to the Himalayas, and Vishnu is like searching for the Himalayas, like where is he? Like where is this crybaby?
Yeah.
But Narada Bhakti Sutra it's gold if you haven't actually read up on it.
Narayana Hari Namo Namo. Narayana Hari Namo Namo. Narada Hridaya Vihari Namo Namo. Narada Hridaya Vihari Namo. Narayana Hari Namo Namo. The old Telugu bhajam about Narayana. He sings about Hari. Narada Hridaya Vihari Namo, right? In the heart of the traveling Narada. He speaks about himself in third person. He's like, Narayan lives in the Hridaya, in the heart of Narada. Namo Namo. We recognize that. So, yeah, fun story.
It also goes to show like if if Narada in all his like grace and everything is not like the greatest devotee, like what am I?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, right? Because are we thinking about God like that all the time? I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for myself, man. Sometimes God be leaving my mind.
yeah, that's just human,
Yeah. Anyways, it's so funny. I'm all about this Hindu stuff, right? I talk about the life, and I'm gonna be honest, this is gonna get real meta. Sometimes I'm so caught up in the logic or trying to write down arguments or research scripture. I'm not even thinking about God. I'm reading about God, not even thinking about it. Because for me, I'm like, all right, well, how do I use this to cook
Yeah,
for a TikTok
right,
live?
right.
You know,
That
and
would
it's like,
be
is that dharmic?
that would be
You know what I'm
Vishnu
saying?
saying you're
I'm
focusing on
on,
balancing the candle wick on your
right? I'm pleasing God, but I'm not really pleasing
yeah,
God, right?
yeah, right. I know I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Tell that story about when Indra was about to lose his throat. Yo, what I don't remember that story, man. You want to tell us?
Indra about to lose his throne. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
but
in-
is yeah. I feel like he's always trying to lose his throne.
The snake who lost his hiss.
Guys, no. Ew, nine, nine. Do you wanna, by the way, I have my second account, Nine or Malika. If you wanna come up, you can take my account. I'll give it to you. If you don't want to, it's okay too.
Is it when Indra's in the dungeon of Ravana?
Hold on. He loses stone many times. He does. I mean, when Mahishasura Mardini comes, he loses stone. Yeah, Jay, I'll give you a really good story. So this is the story of Nodded. So someone asked me a really funny story. This is also Nodded that get in. Oh wait, again, Aki, Aki Duke. I'm just kidding. Okay, anyways, this guy is so relentless with it. How many emails is he creating to make accounts? So Narada asks Vishnu, he's walking alongside Vishnu. He's like, yo, what is Maya? What is Maya? And to answer this question, Vishnu's like, oh, I got you. I'll answer this question, but can you get me some water? I'm kind of thirsty. I'm gonna be lying underneath this tree. Can you go get me some water? He's like, I bet, I got you. So Narada goes into the nearby village and he's fetching a pail of water. And while he's fetching this pail of water, this beautiful woman comes and he has a little he's like, dang, this woman's she's white. And then he's trying to, he lays down some game. He's like, you know what he says? He's like, actually, this water is for Vishnu. Can I get? There's not enough water here. Can I come to your house and get a glass of water? So he's spitting game, trying to put out his pickup lines.
Oh, he's scheming.
Yeah, he's scheming, right? He's got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? So Narada goes and he's like trying to get that water from the girl's house, and then they're talking. They getting along, and then what happens is he goes to father's house, and then the father opens the door. She's living with her father. Father's like, "Oh, what's up, man? You not okay?" So he's getting along with the father. Father's like, "You know what? I like you. You're a cool dude. Marry my daughter." Now it's like, say less. Say less. So he's like, so then he's like, "Yo, I got you." He's like, "Yo, you know what? Since you're a cool dude, I'll let you inherit this house. I'll let you inherit all the wealth. Like, you don't have to do anything." So the landlord type fashion, who's Gucci. So he marries his daughter. They have a bunch of kids and they're hanging out. And he's like, oh, 10, 12 years pass. The kids are now like grown-ish, and they're living it up. Then there's a storm happens in the house, and the village is it's just pouring on, and he's got to save them. And it gets really bad, and he literally floods the house. He's caught up in all of it, and unfortunately, he gets separated from his wife. His wife presumably drowns. His kids are completely out of his sight, and he's drowning himself. And as he's sinking to the bottom, and he's on his last breath, Vishnu pulls him out, and he's like, "Did you give me my water yet?" And all the water disappears.
Oh wow.
And he's like, "That's the power of Maya."
That's incredible.
That's one of the coolest Prana stories that I could think of. That's a really good one.
I like
Yeah.
that one because he gets all distracted by
Yeah.
like that's the power of Maya is that like he forgot like the
His
power
spiritual
of God.
purpose, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he forgot everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, completely lost.
he was deluded by Maya and worldly attachment. He
He
forgot.
lived a whole life in between just
It
trying to
reminds
get
me of the blurry lamp. I was gonna say it reminds me of that blurry lamp meme. You heard of that? You guys ever heard of that? It's just like this meme. It's like a Reddit story where like a guy lives an entire life, like an entire happy life, and then he looks in the corner and there's a lamp that's just like kind of blurry, like it's like glitching out, and then he wakes up in a coma and realizes that the entire life he lived was just like not real. That's what that story was making me think of. Kind of, it's like, but that's the thing. It's like it's as real as anything else. Like Maya's even more insidious because it's like it feels as real as anything else, but it's the least real thing. It's limited. It's not eternal. It's especially when you have duties to God. Like you got to get him his pail of water. Like if you say so.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what how we're going to do too. It's like maybe we're born and it's like get a pail of water, which is like the essence of like spiritual and evolution, and we all just get distracted.
That was great saying Mahavira. Yeah, who's Mahavira is
Jane.
Jane, yeah, Mahavira. Is there a Hindu character named Mahavira? I feel like there is. It's all good.
With an eye, I think.
Am I the only Asian here? Maharaj, what's up, man?
What
What do you mean Asian? You're British. That's some British slang. Maharaj.
Yeah, don't British
Maharaj.
people still say Oriental?
Dude, like in the 1800s, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, you Mahavira guy. You a brave soul. Yeah, it's a plumber trauma. Yo, Maharaj, you there, bro? I feel like they say Asian a lot instead of Indian. What's the Asians here? You Asian? Maharaj, you asking me if I'm Indian? No, I'm white. I'm Caucasian. I'm Caucasian. Okay. Anyway, I don't think he wants to unmute. Someone asked about noticing and Hiranyakashipu. That one's interesting. That's why we celebrate Holi. Is the noticing. And
I love that story too. Yeah.
All Caucasian, right? We're Aryan. We're all Caucasian too. Is there an account Barbarism can use to go on the panel? How many followers? I'll follow you. I don't know. I do have an account, but I don't know if with all due respect, I have to know you and know you my passwords. To be honest. Can't just give a stranger my passwords.
That's bare minimum. I gotta know you to give me my password. Give me my password.
You guys don't know all Sammy's passwords?
Yo, Sammy Loca calling you out on his live.
Who's Loca?
Who are these people? Yo, are they? This is turning into a 20v1.
What is the 20v?
What is this?
Who the fuck is Loca?
Lando.
Who the fuck is Loca?
Yo, language, guys. Language.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's that?
Is that a nickname for something or username or
And some
someone we
channel,
know?
I have no idea. Loca is a good Shakira song.
Loca.
And Viva Loca.
Sammy, you debated anyone named Loca?
I've never even heard of a Loca.
What is that song?
I want to talk about that. This is really what I'm talking about, guys. So Papa announced and Shipment, this is a great Carnatic piece. I know Nai's listening, so she's gonna be on my but on the pronunciation. But this is, yeah, when we talk about murti puja, right? I wanna like kind of get into this further. It is representation, but it's so much more than just symbolic meditation, right? We
Yeah.
do things for that God. And I remember Prachar Dharmic made a really good post about it, right? We allow ourselves to become the custodian of
Mm.
God, to God, right? Because that idea of bhakti, thinking about it, that's the privilege, right? Being able to think about God is the service that God gives us.
Mm.
So when it comes to this, right? So the song is Enna Tavam Shaidane Yashoda. Enna Tavam Shaidane. Enna Tavam Shaidane Yashoda. Enna Tavam Shaidane Yashoda. Yangam Nidai Parabrahmam Amma Yanjarika Enna Tavam Shaidane. Yengam Nide Para Brahma Amma. So Engam is everywhere, the omnipresent. Nide is the infinite, omnipotent, infinite, Para Brahman. So the infinite Om, the supreme being of the universe. Think about supreme consciousness, the Pranava, right? Calls you Amma Enja Reka calls you mom, Enna Tavam Shaidane Yashoda. So the author is speaking to Yashoda, who's the mom of Krishna, and is saying, "What tapas did you do? And what tapas, what prayer or penance did you do to become God's mother?" I think Christians have this idea, like, "Mary, did you know?" I think there's a Christmas song like that, but it's like Yashoda has this unique position that no one else will ever have. Is she gets to be the mother of the supreme universe, supreme being of reality. Mary, did you know? Yeah. And it's like, how? What penance did you do? Right? What karma did you rack up that have like what is the most privileged position in all of human positions?
Mm.
Ennatavam Shaidane. Irere Bhuvananga Padatavane. Irere Bhuvananga Padatavane. Kayaleti Sirati Paluti Talada. Kayaleti Sirati Paluti Talada. Yanatavam Shadi. In this part, he's like, um, in Irer Bhuvanangal Padatavane, you are the creator of the 14 worlds or the seven worlds. I think literally, but the seven. What are the seven, right? Om Buhu, Om Bhuvaha, Subaha, Manaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Ogum Satyam, right? The seven quote unquote heavens as Muslims have corrupted it to be. But it's the seven realms of material consciousness, the seven lokas.
Mm.
So we talk about that Irere Bhuvanangal Paratavana. You created these seven worlds. You're the creator of the universe. Um Gayalerti Sirati Paluti Talada, right? You were in his arms. Um Sirati, you rocked him to sleep. Paluti, you gave him palu, which is milk, right? Talada, you sang to him. Ennatavam. So the supreme ruler, the creator of the universe, you got to rock to sleep, feed him milk, sing to him. Ennatavam Shaidane. What tapas did you do to have that privilege? And I think having that dynamic, one second. Having that privilege, I think, is so cool. And this is what idol worship is all about, right? When we're Murti Puja is all about. In many ways, we become the custodians. We adopt that privilege of showing our devotion, our service. And the best is almost treating it like it's your kid, just like Yashoda. So I love relating that to Murti Puja. Anna tavam shaidane Yashoda.
Yeah, it's really about like getting in that mindset of just like that. To me, that's the fruit of bhakti. Is like to just really get in that mindset of like when you serve, the ganja jal, right? You serve the ganja jal and you serve, um, you know, you wash the Murti's feet and wash the hands, and you have the ghee, and you serve it in deep venerance and devotion, right? And like getting into that mind state of like humility and honor to be with God, right? Because then it's like you've opened a space. It's really like, at least that's when I do puja. It's like I'm really trying to open a space of invitation, like of feeling welcome, like in this home, and
Yeah.
because like I'm welcome in all of reality, right, in God's home, right, and I want to be forever after, right. It's only fair.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And you do have live access. I just saw it that you do. Yeah, but it's beautiful. Okay, Maharaj, you wanted to talk. Go ahead. Yeah, Maharaj.
Yeah, hello there. The reason that I want to join like your live stream is because I want to like share how Hinduism influenced Southeast Asian culture, specifically
Okay,
Filipino culture.
sure.
Um,
Where are you from again?
I'm from the Philippines.
Philippines. Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like do y'all know like the country Philippines?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So do y'all ever like heard about other people, especially some Filipino Americans that Philippines is just like, Latin America, it's just a basic colony,
Yeah.
Spanish,
All of
like
my
Very
basic
Catholic.
Spanish
all of yeah
colony,
all
like
Yeah.
my
that.
Filipino friends are
So
Catholic.
like in our school curriculums, pre-colonial Filipino history is not very talked about. But we have like TikTok content creators here who makes pre-colonial Filipino history like it's our forgotten Hindu Buddhist past or like our forgotten Dharmic culture. Like after the colonialization, most of our orientalized culture is almost gone. It's like others are trashed, others are demonized. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
like when I was growing up, I didn't know that our country, the Philippines, like we I didn't know that we have this Hindu culture, like our forgotten Hindu past. Like most of Filipinos are actually ignorant about it. So yeah, like I'm one of those enthusiasts. I'm actually a devotee of like pre-colonial Filipino history. Like um I go for pure Orientalism, even though yeah, like I acknowledge our colonial, like our Eurocentric, our uh white influenced culture, but like I still lean on like our Dharmic past. Like I didn't know that our ancestors worship different deities just like Hinduism. It's like our pre-colonial beliefs are actually animism with Hindu based ailments or
Sure.
practice. Like the names of our deities are actually Sanskrit inspired. Sanskrit or Tamil, I don't know which one, but it's actually
Yeah.
Indian inspired names. And we actually have like our weddings, like we didn't know that we trade with like Indianized empires and kingdoms. um yeah, so I didn't also know that we have like a Srivijayan, Singhasari or Majapahit influence. I didn't know that we have like a Thai or like Southern Vietnamese Indic influence in our culture. Like
Mhm.
we also discuss about like Eurocentric culture in our curriculum. So yeah, like and I'm also um inspired about like how our ancestors dressed exactly like it's not like 100% like copied, but it's actually influenced. Like
Mhm.
we didn't know that we have a term for our native crowns. We didn't know that we have our own terms for like a native turban.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, that's sad.
yeah, yeah,
There
and
seems to
we
be a
also
sorry. There seems to be a clear disconnect between your Indic heritage as a Filipino.
Yeah,
Mm.
but like yeah, like the word Filipino is actually named after like the King Philip the second of Spain. That's why,
Mm.
our also like our neighboring Southeast Asian countries don't sometimes consider as like Asian enough. Sometimes we are considered like the white people of Asia, which is not the case because
Mm.
we have been colonized by Spain for, if I'm not mistaken, specifically for like 300 years. That's why
Yeah, I was
like we
about to
have
say.
these cathedrals, churches, like our shrines are like the houses of the rajas and the datus were burned down, like our golden accessories that we traded from Majapahit, like the Indianized kingdoms of Indonesia, Malaysia, Southern Vietnam, Thailand. All these golden accessories that we traded are actually burnt down, buried, thrown on the river. But actually, as years goes by, our national TVs are actually being like the golden accessories that we traded from other Indianized kingdoms are actually being dug up like right now, like in recent years, like the golden coins, like some um golden earrings, necklaces that we traded from like other principal kingdoms, other um Indic empires. So yeah, and there's also um other facts that has been like burnt out, like our writing systems that is inspired from like Tamil, Sanskrit, like, but right now, like little by little it's being like revived. And the there's also like a trans woman that is my friend. Her name is actually Nahia Diwada. She is actually a pre-colonial revivalist. Like you can follow her. Like it represents the like when you go to her account, like some people may find that we're copying Indian culture, we're copying this and that, but no, it's just actually an influence. If you go to her, she likes Filipino history, but she leaned towards more on like the pre-colonial. Like she dresses similar like South Indian women, but it's actually like our native textiles, our native garments. Like she likes to wear those, like,
That's
and
beautiful.
actually, yeah. And also there are a lot of like um the earth, I don't know if my English is right, like a dug up like golden statues. Like we also have this like a, I thought at first it was like a Hindu um at first I thought this was like a Hindu um statue,
Yeah.
like a little Tara statue. it's
Hmm.
it's it's actually what we call like a Vajralasha statue. It's like our Hindu Buddha,
Yeah.
I mean it's like our
I'm looking at it
live
right now,
Buddhist
actually.
statue.
Right. It's called the
Like
Golden Tara or Agusan image.
yeah, yeah, it's like the Agusan image. It's like a little female, like a little golden deity statue that has been dug up in the northern part of the Mindanao archipelago. Like it is there since the Rajanate of Butuan. Like even before the Sultanate of Butuan. Like even before like Islam got it's even before Islam arrived in the Philippines. Like
Yeah.
we have rajas, like every archipelago has like rajas, but there are also several like datus and yeah. But most of our like Indian influences are much found on the practices, writing systems. We didn't actually build temples though, because we don't have much resources to build temples, and our population didn't even reach millions. All it only reached like hundreds, like tens and thousands. It didn't reach like a million, like Indonesia, Malaysia, or Thailand.
Yeah,
It's also like, yeah, we
I
didn't
could be
feel like,
wrong. I could be wrong, but like the Philippines was like a really big trading spot. Like
yeah,
once the global, like Europe and Asia started being connected through like trade. Like Philippines was a huge spot as a connection between like you know, Japan, China, and the rest of the Polynesian islands. Like a lot of boats came through there. That's when it really blew up. But its history,
yeah,
obviously, evidently, is much older than just the start of those trading posts.
yeah,
Guys, tapped
and
alive, tapped alive. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, continue. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and actually, like we also have like ancestors, like even before like the Islam came from the Philippines, like we have like royal like if the Spain didn't colonize us, probably we're like we probably have like the what UK have now, like they have like a royal families like
Mm.
Bhutan, like Thailand, probably we're gonna have like
Would have
that,
looked
but
like that
we
for sure.
actually have like a prince of Sulu. It is located in Mindanao, like in the southernmost part of Mindanao. Actually, there is like a native like an ethnic group here in the Philippines
Eden,
that didn't
thank you so much.
colonized by Spain, and even and they are Muslims. But even though that they are Muslims, like we still have like they still have um ethnic dance that is inspired from like a Ramayana dance, or like a Hindu dance. Like
Yeah,
we like like even though that they're Muslims, like they're still
they still have that
wearing like,
Hindu culture that's there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
beautiful.
we have Pangalay, we have Singkil, we have Pagapir, and let me tell you that these people are Muslims, but the dance is not inspired from Islam whatsoever. Like they still wore like golden accessories, they still wore um nail guards, and
Yeah,
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 and they
yeah,
still
man. I
wear like
appreciate it. Yeah, what's I want to move on to the next guest. I know Eden just showed up. What's up, Eden? What I'm say I don't want to push. Eden.
Oh, hi guys. Um, I'm in the UK. Um,
oh
Kautalya or Spinoza just sent me. It's the first time I've been here.
It is like demon hours. Your time. What time is it? 7 o'clock.
7 a.m. Just woke up. I'm just addicted to TikTok. I wake up with TikTok and go to sleep with TikTok.
Why does
Bro,
Spinoza just say "have fun" to me? What, this is eerie.
No, it's just by chance. I mean, I can't go into details, but I'm on a long break from work. So uh, when October happened, like last year, it was just by chance. And then I've been spending 12, 13 hours a day for the last 7 months
Bro,
on TikTok.
no, don't say it ain't so, man. Get some break. It's okay.
Yeah,
Man, you're in the UK. Go
I mean,
outside.
people actually get concerned, and my pro Zionist friends, they
Mm.
message me. It's like, take a break. I'm seeing you for 12 hours on 50 different panels.
you need a dopamine reset, man. You gotta make sure your dopamine resets. You don't want to.
Eden, I gotta ask you. At least you're not saying full support Sada when you go on these lives.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
It was not. It wasn't that funny. You know,
Uh,
when we have Indians defend, yeah, I don't mind. I support Israel. I'm a Zionist, but man, we get accused of the full support Sar.
the,
You know that
so
meme, right?
I don't understand what you said. The full support something?
You're never beating the allegations, Sammy.
We're not beating the allegations, man. We're not beating the allegations. I was just gonna say, I feel like it's such a clutch phrase for me now, but it's just so applicable in so many situations. No, I'm just kidding, man. No,
I,
man.
I, I
With
really
Indians,
can't. I heard allegations, something, something. I didn't hear
I'll
what
tell
you
you.
said.
I'll explain now. Man, it's all good. Man, no, because Indians, as Indians, man, we are accused of being too loyal to Israel.
No, I'm totally British. I have an OCI card.
Honestly, up India,
I
man.
mean, it's a shame that India does not provide. It's very interesting because Pakistan. I have a lot of Pakistani friends in the UK, and they are
Yeah,
full dual citizens. So they carry a British passport and a full. They have no problem. They have like
same.
US passport and a Pakistan passport. Pakistan literally has India. Literally, if they give dual citizenship to everyone, we will be having October 7th happening literally every day
The Pakistani
because
passport is
the
business.
same heritage. I mean, they literally come. I mean, but people have this misconception about how do I say it? Like brown people in the UK, and I realized this when I came to UK first in 2000. I was so confused because the so-called we call Asians, British Asians. They have nothing to do with the Republic of India that was created in 1947. These guys, their great 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 grandfathers were taken by the British Empire to, let's say, Uganda, Kenya, Durban, South Africa, all that British Empire area. And
Right.
then one by one, because of the independence movements in Africa, they all had to leave because, of course, Idi Amin kicked out everyone from Uganda. They had something else in Kenya. Now we have Preeti Patel in the UK from Uganda. We have Rishi
Right.
Sunak, whose grandfather moved from Kenya to here.
Yeah.
And they're all, oh, you Indian Prime Minister, you Hindu Prime Minister of UK. I mean, these guys, they have nothing to do. I mean, this is so funny. The great grandfather of Hamza Yusuf of Scotland and Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of UK, they literally come from the same village in Punjab. Um, you know, 100 years ago, before the partition.
Really?
Sorry,
Really? That's crazy.
that is no, that is completely true. That's completely true. So basically, what happened is Hamza Yusuf comes from the village that went to Pakistan, and his family went straight to the factories of
India, where are you from? India.
Kerala. I mean, my parents are from Kerala. I was born in Bombay,
Oh,
Mumbai. 1974. My parents were working in Bombay when I was born. Interestingly, my older sister is born in Kerala, and I was born in Bombay, and then I
are
moved
you
to
Christian?
yeah.
Okay,
Um,
cool. I got you.
so I mean, me personally, I'm an atheist for the last 40 years since I was 10 years old. I'm 50 years old,
Okay.
but my family is extremely Syrian Orthodox Christians of
Okay.
Kerala,
Word.
Balangara Orthodox
Yeah, yeah,
Christian.
yeah.
One
Nice.
of those. I mean, my dad's family is from Koilon, and my mother's family is from Patnata. We're settled in Trivandrum. Uh, I mean, I can say that I went to the University of Kerala. I graduated from the University of Kerala. I don't want to say which degree because I don't want
Oh,
to
that's
talk shit about.
yeah, again, but
Uh, let's say I do quite an important job in the UK. I'm not in the.
okay.
When I say that, people think I'm the police. I'm not the police or MI5 or anything.
Okay, good man.
Um, yeah. So Hamza Yusuf's great grandfather, he came to the Punjab village that went straight to the factories of Glasgow, whereas the other great grandfather of Rishi Sunak from the slightly uh,
Yeah,
other side of the border went to
Dharma, bro. He's from
Kenya.
Dharma.
And we have Leo Varadkar of Ireland. Northern Ireland is of completely IRA. What's her name? I forgot her name. Michelle O'Neill. Michelle O'Neill. She's a child of the IRA. She is now the First Minister, Sinn Féin of Northern Ireland. That is so ironic. After 40 years of struggling with the IRA, they basically control the whole of Ireland now. And Wales, I don't know if Indian origin. I can't remember.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, man. Eden. Yeah, man. That's yeah, we're gonna talk about some more Sanatan. We're gonna get all Dharmic. Okay.
No,
I know it's not your wheelhouse, but yeah, we won't get into that.
I have no
Okay.
idea
Yo,
what's
Eden.
happened.
Oh, good. All good. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
No, sure.
Yeah. What do you say for hello? And I guess you just say hello. I guess. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Eden. Peace out, man.
Okay, peace out.
Yeah. D. Oh, Bala. Balu. We're gonna call him Balu.
Yo, why do you bother getting bantered on the mic, bro? You're not gonna talk.
Yo, why you gotta hate on me like that,
Yo,
bro?
it is what it is. You say one
Yo.
word every 2 hours.
Yo, listen, I'm just a troll. I'm a fan child. Leave me alone.
You
I
fulfill
didn't
your
know that.
Yeah, Paula's so funny, man.
Bro, socks during the day, troll during the night. That's how I roll.
Okay. All right. Oh, give me some of that. Give me some of that dividends.
okay.
Oh
right.
God, how are you
Yeah.
guys doing today?
What should I be investing in, bro? On a serious note.
Oh,
Nvidia.
really? I could tell you if you
Nvidia.
really want to know.
Oh yeah, Lando does the daytime trading, dude, right?
Yeah,
We'll
I did like
discuss
the
live.
I did like the degenerate high leverage trading with a VPN, 200x BTC leverage trades.
We're gonna do a Dharmic stocks about one day. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey guys, I
Oh
hope you
man,
have a wonderful day. By the way, I'm from Bali.
you're from Bali?
I'm a little bit shy to be honest to speak. I'm not really the type of person that
It's all good.
speak
That's okay.
many people.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where do I need to start? Because first of all, yeah, we simply basically our religions in Bali. It's not many people that you know like get a spotlight, not as much as
Yeah.
most of the sub-Indian continent. But when you look back to the history that Bali basically is, the last people that are still holding the torch of Hinduism in Southeast Asia, basically, or probably outside of the sub-Indian continent, where most of the past kingdoms have already gone. And yeah, we simply like around 5 million people. Well, and there are some movement in Indonesia recently that the Javanese, that the largest ethnic in Indonesia, which predominantly Muslim, that they starting to embrace uh, the beliefs. And back in the day, when during Majapahit era, um, it was like a golden age, and Bali simply is just you know during the exodus of the Hindus that remain in Java. They simply brought their their ritual and teachings and stuff like that, and most of the nobles and aristocrat uh, moved to Bali. And so yeah, basically our practices now mostly are just like the mirror of the past, like 500 years ago, that once flourished in Java. And yeah, simply that in this day, in recent days, that most of the Javanese people are like building temples, and we
That's
simply
good.
trying to like revive the old abandoned temple, and also they build new one. And it's actually quite fascinating because in Bali we have like uh you know like parisad. I
Mhm.
don't know, in yeah, like a community that uh you know that brought all of the Hinduism in Indonesia as a whole to
Yeah.
to emancipate all of the uh, you know all the ethnic, not just the Javanese, but there are some people in Borneo also where like the Dayaks. There's this thing called Hindu Kaharingan, which is they if you see it like their practices they mostly like tribal stuff, but uh, again because in Indonesia there are only six religions that is recognized, so they didn't have the choice to like to join Hinduism because that's what the law in our country uh, you know it
Yeah.
has yeah it has to be like you know what I mean. So yeah, most of this, so this Parisade Hindu, we call it Parisade Hindu Dharma, Parisade Hindu Dharma Indonesia. So yeah, we all like uh, bring out all of the ethnic that has like the sense of the value of Hinduism, and yeah, we simply trying to revive all of the lost, you know, the cultures
Yeah, that's.
and the rituals and stuff. And so I think that it's quite, you know, great
I
for
think that's
us.
really
But
cool. Yeah, like 5 years ago, I predicted, like, just to myself, I was thinking, like, I always thought that, like, as Southeast Asia starts to kind of throw off their colonial ties, that we'll see a resurgence in the coming years of like the Dharmic face in Southeast Asia and a re-Indianization. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
like
I mean, Indonesia itself, even though that they are like largely Muslim populations and largest Muslim populations in the world, we simply our like the identity of the country basically is just Hinduism. You know, like the crest, the symbol of Indonesia is Garuda. Well, you know, obviously it's from the Hinduism, of course,
right.
from the Vishnu, and
Yeah.
then yeah, our what is it called? Uh, our motto is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which is also like taken from Hindu scriptures, and then also you know the capital, the Jakarta, is from Jayakarta, which mean like
Wow.
the Jai and Karta like peaceful or
Greater.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the flag, you know, the flag is red and white.
Yeah.
We
I
believe
know you
that
guys have
it's
a lot of Sanskrit words in your vocabulary in Indian Basha, Indonesia, right? A lot of Sanskrit words are in your language.
yeah there are plenty of
So,
Sanskrit words.
so I have a question. Are there Vedic rituals? Is it like very Vedic? When you guys are praying? I know it's very different than like, I guess, subcontinental Hinduism. Um, but it is rooted in Vedic rituals and stuff like that, or Vedic philosophy. I know the philosophy, but like the type of prayers that you guys do. How does that work?
Well, in Bali, we like we're doing like prayers that most of the words or the verses directly taken from Bhagavad Gita,
Okay.
because the first verse is basically Gayatri Mantra,
Hmm.
and then we usually like uh, do that every we pray for every I'm sorry, 3 times a day. So it's like and beginning in the morning, and then uh, in a midday, and also during the evening. So basically things like that. So yeah, the practices mostly are Hinduism, but because you know again how that we have like uh, lost contact between the archipelago
Right. Right.
with the Indian traders back in the day. Unlike after the Islamic conquest, it's just like
Right.
has been
Dang.
cut off for a very long
Yeah.
time. So we like develop our own cultures and rituals
Sure.
and you know many things that is pretty much if people
Unique. It's
when
unique.
they perceive it with naked eyes they will they will say, "Oh, why is it different with the Indian?"
Yeah.
Sometimes
Look,
we are,
so,
yeah,
hmm?
sometimes we are bothered when people are saying like that because they simply don't understand how our religions works, how Hinduism
Right,
works, because stuff
right.
like that. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, trust me, we know that people don't know how Hinduism works. We we deal with people every day that don't understand.
Yeah, yeah. And
Awesome.
sometimes when yeah, and sometimes when you're trying to explain it to them, it's just simply they're saying like, uh, that's why you need to like one fundamental that like the umbrella that under all of the laws and all the practices and stuff of your religion, something like that. Yeah, people easily pass judgment towards us, and yeah, we're trying to educate, but they simply refuse to.
Yeah, learn. If they don't want to learn, then what
Yeah,
can you do,
that's
right?
it.
Yeah.
I love what we have going on here. We have Watami, Pakistani Buddhist. We had a Filipino Hindu. We have a Bali Hindu. This is I want Hindu spaces like this to be a safe space. I want it to be a hub of indigeneity. This is the hub of indigeneity. This is where we come, right now. And I love this. Yo, thank you so much for sharing. I have so many questions.
Yeah, it brings me a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, sorry for my English is not very
Yeah,
good.
it's
Oh no,
great,
you're
man.
fine.
You have great English. So
I totally
I love
understand
it.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you
this
guys.
is this is where it's at. Yeah, man. Yo, take care. It's good. I'm gonna follow you. Everyone. Yo, stay on for a second. Everyone follow Isin. If that's okay with you. I'm gonna follow you.
I did too.
I don't know if you're taking followers like that. I think that you have a private account, but yeah, we would love to learn more. I think I wish I had prepared questions. I'm kind of taken back. I was just kind of letting you talk, but now that I know, if you can come back, I want to do my research a little bit, and I can ask you more specific
Yeah, to be
questions.
honest, like I thought like in Indonesia too, like we're in Indonesia, I thought that Hinduism was completely crushed, like completely stamped out, you know. So
Well, I knew it was there. I honestly don't know much about it, so I kind of just
I'm just
didn't
like
know
glad
much
to
Bali,
hear
about it.
that there's like a
Bali
certain
is still
There
pretty
are
Hindu, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
yeah
It is.
yeah there
that's for
are
sure.
actually the largest Vishnu statue in the
Mhm.
world is located in Bali actually.
Oh,
It's
really?
Listen,
called
who's your? Is that
Diaspora.
your
Yeah,
Ishtadevata? Is that who you like to pray to? I always like to ask that question. Who's your?
it's actually sorry.
Who's your? We call it Ishtadevata, which is who's your favorite
Uh,
god to worship?
okay. Okay. Here's the thing. Because in Bali, the term like Istadewata
Mhm.
uh, is mostly like not much unknown, but the concept itself, we simply still holding on like the concept of Istadewata itself, but mostly here people the like the practice and the Balinese Hindus are mostly Shaivism,
Okay,
like
that makes
that,
sense.
and Shaktism, but
Wow.
also there are many things that is like
Hold off this,
uh
bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
also like what do you call it, like shit, I forgot. Like the Bhairava, there's also like Vaishnav and also Buddhism. There are many uh, you know elements that uh, be, that eventually become like melting pot of
Mm.
various sects and cultures, and I think that's makes something that is quite interesting, to be honest. But mostly that our religions incline towards Shaivism, mostly
Mm.
most of the time. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, dude, I appreciate you coming on and talking about it. Yo, Ishin, come back. Let me do some research. Let me look into it. We could have a really good TikTok live on everything that you're discussing. That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, but yeah, man, take care of yourself. And you can stay on if you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna kick you, but we'll see if we can talk about stuff.
All
Yeah,
right.
Watami, I wanted to also highlight Watami here being Pakistani Buddhist. Um, and so guys follow him. I wanted to know. I think he has to go, but I just kind of wanted to know what his thought process was on going to
Pakistani
Buddhism.
Buddhist? Pakistani
Was
Buddhist?
is he Muslim or is he convert?
Yeah, he can. He mentioned earlier that he was a Muslim and then he converted.
Alhamdulillah.
Godspeed you, man.
But that's great. I'm really happy for you. But yeah, that's great. You know, in the Gandhara civilization, right? Pakistan was the hub of Buddhism, right, during the Gandhara time. Alhamdulillah Buddha. But I was like, get it right, man.
To be honest, if they left Islam, they were never Muslims to begin with. So take that.
Right. That's what they say. So
Of course. So yeah, no, that's cool. Yo, well, tell me next time. I know you have to go, but next time, I'll do some research too, and we'll talk. I want to have a good conversation. It'll be good. This interviews will be good. TikTok, just content for people to learn, understand what's going on. This is what I love, man. This is the. Can I call this the Rainbow Coalition? This is the Rainbow Coalition, right? This is solidarity.
Please,
Hub.
anything but a rainbow, dog. You could have picked anything, bro. I had to say
Yo,
Rainbow go.
June 1st isn't until tomorrow.
Yo, stop it. Why are you making it about that kind of rainbow? That was funny. You said June 1st, not tomorrow. I didn't plan for that.
Listen, I identify as a Panchod. Can you call it the Panchod Coalition?
Sure.
So we talk about, rainbow just is it's a term from Tiranga Coalition. I'm down. Rainbow's like that.
Yeah, I like Saffron Coalition. That sounds good.
No, when I say multicultural, right, it's that, I don't know. Wait, when the Black Panthers, when they were trying to fight racism, right, in the 80s, 60s, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they got white people together, black people together, brown people together, Latinos, Ireland people. They got them all together, and they said we're many colors, so we're rainbow.
K-City, yeah, K-City's good. I like K-City. That's a fire one.
All right, we're K-City. All right. Well, K-City is one color, but fine. I'm just trying to say we're multi-religious, multi-dharmic. K-City. We'll call it the Tiranga Coalition. I like that. We'll say that Rangila Coalition. We say Rangila, or is that too fruity for you?
Rangila's way too fruity, bro.
You can call it like a Sarva Bao Coalition or something. Sarva Baumic. Sarva Universal
See, that's
Coalition.
too LARPy though. That's we'll do Tiranga, even though it's more than just 3 of them. The Rangoli? What about Rangoli, Watson? What about Rangoli? Rangila. Desha Rangila, Rangila. I forgot how it goes.
Sam, can you explain to me why coherency is a good thing? I don't understand why.
Why is coherency good, man?
Can you explain to me why coherency is necessary to be coherent in your argument?
That's it. Ask you that?
Yeah, were you here?
No, I came late. I came late.
He
Oh
missed the
my
whole
God.
conversation.
Yeah.
It'll be in the clips, hopefully, if Sammy, if you guys.
Yeah, I'll be there. We
Please.
reset just in time.
It was great. There's a guy, he was asking, like, he was trying to like go down the why route of just like asking, why is that? Why is that? And it came down to like, well, why are you Hindu? It's like, well, because I see it as the most coherent thing with the world around me and the universe that I partake in. And it's like, why is coherency a good thing?
He was trying to make the argument that ultimately.
Why do I have to explain why something being coherent is a good thing? He basically came down to like, he basically admitted in a way, Sammy, if you agree that like things are only good, like it's okay if you live in ignorance, like
yeah,
as long as like there's more pleasure in that ignorant lifestyle, then it's okay. Like oh, it's good that God could be lying to us and like keeping us in the dark if that makes us happy in the end.
He didn't have a real idea of what he was looking for. He was trying to be contrarian. But ultimately, what I think he was alluding to was God has to be at the center of your epistemology. Without God, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. So coherency is only good because God says. And I think that's what he was alluding to.
Right, which doesn't make sense because like then when he was saying that like when we asked him why something's good, it's like, oh, because it leads to some kind of happiness to me. It's like, and that's why you brought out the earthquake thing. It's like, well, that doesn't. And then he had to concede that like, oh, well, it is good because it's in God's ultimate plan. So it's like, okay, like you don't care about if it leads to happiness.
It's really ironic that you brought up that because on one hand they'll talk about the problem, they'll talk about objective morality all the time, and then you just bring up one event, and then he's like, "Well, what is good?" Like, yo, pick up
That's what I
struggle, man. Pick
mean.
up struggle.
Yeah, that's what, it's like you're trying to attack via subjectivity, but then it's like clearly you rely more on objectivity than we do. Like crazy.
It's wild.
They've been doing that a lot lately. Like that was that other guy too before. Maybe it was the same guy. Some guy was trying to talk to before about like, remember about like, oh well, how do you like? Would you advocate someone unaliving themselves? Like, well, there's a lot of particulars in that question. We have to break that down. Like, there's not just like a one black and white rule for these things. You know, I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's their lack of knowledge of science.
I think
because they don't believe in science at all, and we do.
Well, it's
And I
that.
think
What do you
science is
mean?
our foundation.
No. Did you see him read the Wikipedia definition of time? I think he
Oh my gosh.
Right,
Time
right.
time is just a measurement. It's a tool. And of
Yeah.
course, you know, you whether it's cyclical or linear doesn't matter. It's a measurement. Why even bring that up? I mean, if you believe in science and understand science, you'll understand Hinduism. It's that simple.
It's
When
like
they think the world is flat, they think it was created in 6 days. How can you reason with someone who thinks that when Hinduism knows, you know, we measure things in yugas, we have, you know, millions of years. We know more than, I mean, modern science is you know, basically affirming everything that Hinduism already stated.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you're talking to people that believe in a one book, one man, and a man in the sky, and it's all male, male, male dominated. So what do you expect? I mean, whatever we call God, if you want to use that word, we have it as infinite or one. I mean, it's
Right.
whatever it is,
Yeah, it's
whether
almost-
it's energy. It doesn't have to be made of molecules and atoms. It's
Right.
immaterial.
Right. Yeah, it's like how do you even explain that to someone like that? Like, how do you even explain like that's what I was kind of trying to get to with him. I don't know if you're there, but I was trying to get to like so we could break this down to atoms, or we could go lower and lower and lower to like ad infinitum, right? Like
Well, I mean, if you think of energy, it's not made of atoms. It's immaterial.
right,
So
right.
it's that
Exactly.
it's at that level, if we can describe it at any level. I mean, when we think of Atma, it's like energy. It's not made of atoms. It's not matter. This earth is matter, and we are not this body or this earth. We are trying to leave this cycle of birth and death to achieve that energetic state, that energy level up there, or wherever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's where
Oh,
it's the highest frequency where like each trough and peak of the frequency is no longer separate. It's infinite frequency, you know.
right, it's not
It's
a
a straight line.
thing,
Yeah.
you know. And even this creation of this universe, this big bang, I mean, it's a continuum. It's like right now we're at the most energetically favorable state, you could say, until the destruction of this and the energy transforms into something,
Something
you know,
else.
and matter
Yeah.
transforms into something else, you know.
Absolutely. Yo,
So it's a
what's
continuum.
your story? So
Hmm.
were you like can I ask? I just want to know like what's your story? Like where you from or like
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah.
Well, I'm I mean, my parents are from Kerala.
Okay.
We're probably the few Hindus left in Kerala.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
it's
Sure. We
kind
got
of
some
a
we got some Malu Hindus in the chat. We got a good
really
Malu.
from Kerala, because
Yeah.
most of the Keralites are probably
I know
converted.
Christian. Yeah.
Exactly. They're, you know, they're disappearing. But so if you like, have you ever seen that image where you have a bottle inside of another bottle, and the bottle inside the bottle is called, like, that's religion,
And
where you're
then
trapped in that
spirituality and then
inside
consciousness.
bottle, and the outside of that bottle is spirituality, which is within another bottle. I have to send. I mean, I have to show you guys a picture. And then outside of the both of these bottles is consciousness.
Mhm.
So get out of the freaking bottle, out of your one book, one way, one man in charge kind of belief, and go beyond that. I mean,
Well,
look at
it's
what Buddha did. He sought enlightenment. That is Hinduism right
the thing
there.
with the thing
What
with
he did.
Abrahamic revelation is like if
It's so
this is the
narrow.
one if this is the one law that must be revealed and it's perfect, and then why enable us with this wonderful, powerful buddhi, this intellect, this like mode of reasoning, right?
Exactly.
It's like clearly that like that's the book we should be relying on, this organic book in our own minds. You know, that
I
it's
mean,
adaptive and expansive and
a book of commands. Like really? I mean, the laws of nature speaks for itself,
right.
and all the science we've done, even karma being Newton's third law. I mean, come on, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
exactly.
of this wouldn't come from a book that says the earth was created in 6 days. I mean,
Yeah.
really. So no wonder they were fighting with all the scientists. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's just I don't know. It's so, and so yeah, my parents are from Kerala and I'm basically Canadian, but live in the US. And yeah, I just think that this
Sure.
is so, they fight over minutia, like God, 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 like, oh my gosh, just leave it alone and go think about something beyond that.
Yeah, in the live before Sammy went live, there were two Christians that were arguing about whether man was created from clay or man was created from blue and
Gotta be
green
kidding me.
sand, like
Yeah, well, they
sand or
also
clay.
believe that we all
Let
came
me
from
say something.
Adam and Eve, like,
Well,
and
that's what it was.
clay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
from a
Okay,
rib.
okay. Yeah. Look, we have some Christians in the chat. We're just going
Oh,
to.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's
Well,
No,
I
I'm
don't
just talking about
wanna
these two Christians. These two Christians were just
Yeah,
very
these two Christians are
silly.
just simple.
clay
Yeah.
or sand or
I still respect Christianity. I love
Yeah,
Christianity.
most Christians aren't like this. It was these two
Yeah.
Christians though, just an example of ignorance, right?
But
They
you know
they
what's
were
so funny? They
they
were
were
I
like,
mean,
just
evolution is pretty clear and
right.
very straightforward.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm just
I don't
talking
know
about
if you
the
saw that TikTok. It's actually my most recent one on this chat. But I was talking about like so it was simple video, right? And Lando loved Lando. We're on the same wavelength, my guy. They were just like a monkey eating a tangerine, but you could just feel that like it's
yes.
so I mean, just the intuition. It wasn't really a logical argument, but just intuitive way.
No, that's what I mean. Like that's why, like growing up as a kid, like I left Christianity very early because like it just didn't make sense to me. Like how like the anthropocentrism, and anyone doesn't know what anthropocentrism means. That means like things revolving around humans. Like everything's made for
That hard
humans.
division
Right.
between man and
It's
human.
not.
Yeah, like we're
If you
like
think about it, we all came from one cell, one DNA molecule connects every living organism is same DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Just mutate it,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you get a tree, you get a bug, you get a cow, you get a human. So we're
Yeah.
all that one chemical DNA.
yeah,
Right.
So
Something that our scripture had identified very
exactly.
yeah.
very early on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One DNA with mutations causing all this diversity. So therefore all is one is all, and so be it. That's it. It's so
Yeah.
simple.
And
And
you
if you
mentioned that
understand
scripture,
DNA, it
Sam.
even tells you that.
You mentioned that scripture of like all peace to all two-legged creatures, peace to all four-legged
Yeah.
creatures. It's a very
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I only understood Hinduism more when I became more involved in sciences, from physics, then to chemistry of physics, then to how biology is run by the physics of the chemistry that created the biology. And it all made me understand Hinduism more.
Yeah, same here.
It's so
Especially
cool.
with
I mean, I have a like chemistry background, right? And
yeah,
it's so cool because all the sciences I remember learning early on, they all turned out to be very inspired by Hinduism. Heisenberg. I'll give you. Obviously, we have Schrodinger. Schrodinger converted like he actually converted to Hinduism, and he's the father of quantum mechanics.
Wow. Yes.
Quantum mechanics for sure.
You know, it's so funny because you like when you learn about Schrodinger's second equation or third equation, first equation, you're like, why is it called that? And he has a series of equations, but you don't know that in his writings, one of his equations, I think it's actually Schrodinger's second or third equation, is Atma equals Brahman. Like he wrote that himself.
See, or even the concept of entropy, randomness, the tendency to chaos. It is so true.
Yeah.
And the only reason why we are in this state is, again, because it's energetically favorable at this time.
Yeah.
But if we're
Yeah.
measuring things in yugas, like this is Kali Yuga, at some point it's going to be, energetically, well, we're going to be in, another, I don't know if it's a big bang or some sort of an event. Energy
Yeah.
is going to be transformed again. And again, whatever, is it energy and matter can also be transformed. I have to look into that again as to what I'm saying exactly there.
Well,
But
it's like energy and matter are the same stuff, the same stuffs.
right,
The
except one is
core
defined by
energy.
atoms and
Yeah.
has mass, and the other
Can
is
exist as a
not.
wave. Yeah.
Right. But yes, I guess it's, what is it? E equals MC squared, because
Yeah.
that is matter and energy there. Anyway, it's all just a continuum, and
Mhm.
it is all literally energy moving molecules and creating this whole system. And Hinduism said it from the Vedas on. It's
Yeah.
been there. And like you said, Schrodinger and all of that's tell that same. Isn't that why Oppenheimer even quoted our Gita? These scientists who really, they quote our books for a
Tesla
reason.
too.
Huh?
Tesla, Nikola Tesla was also.
Correct. Absolutely. That's right. And it's just so amazing. I just, my love for sciences grew, and everything, people are just so ignorant. They don't want to, I mean, unfortunately, when they adhere to our Abrahamic religions, all of them, they want to dismiss all this discovery. And we're always supposed to be seeking, always supposed to be learning. That's what Hinduism taught us. It's forever seeking that consciousness.
What's sad about it too is, like, at least in my interpretation, is like Jesus, for example, never says anything like to keep your mind so closed. He never says anything to like be so crystallized in dogma. Like a lot of like yogis like Paramahansa Yogananda and Sri Yukteswar and even Babaji and all these in the Kriya Yoga tradition, they'll quote Jesus, what he said in terms of things, but like they interpret it for I think what he actually meant, like the spiritual essence of it. And I think that I think a lot of we do it to ourselves a lot. I think that the Abrahamic tradition, there could have been drops and crystals of deep knowledge, deep wisdom, but then they kind of
Well,
really
they
get
took
lost.
it from what was before. You have
Yes.
to remember that these Abrahamic religions, well, especially, I'm going to say number one is the original one, then number two is the second one, number three is the third one. Number three basically stole and pillaged from number one and two.
True.
And number two stole and pillaged from number one. And
True.
number one took from whatever they knew before. So it's not like they're basically the same book, the same concept, just number three became more violent. It's just, I don't know, that's how none of them came up with anything that wasn't there before.
Right. I'm just saying that I see seeds of wisdom. I see beads of wisdom.
I like some of the philosophy of the Gospels. I think I think Jesus.
Well, I like the New Testament. I have the New Testament. I read it sometimes because I like what Jesus says. I interpret it from a Hindu. It's so crazy because I grew up in a Christian family, and then when you read it again from a Hindu perspective, it's like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense now.
Right.
But only
It's
from a
funny,
Hindu
some
perspective.
people claim that he went to India and studied Hinduism or
I
something
wouldn't
like
doubt
that.
it. I don't got proof
I
of
don't
it.
know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But anyways, yeah. Look, there's only one religion what we allow to be disrespectful because they need to be, taken down a peg. For me, it's like still a punch up. But yeah, for sure. And for me, it's like, but yeah, it's all good, man.
I mean, I try to take good from all,
You know what?
but
Right.
Sure. Maybe believe. You know
that's the
what's?
best we can do, right?
I was gonna ask
That's what
Lando.
Paramahansa.
Do you know where Adi Shankara is from, Lando? The great Shankara.
Yeah, the Vedanta Adi Shankara
The Advaita Vedanta guy.
is. Where is he from? I assumed he was just from India.
Yeah, sure. He's from Kerala, modern day.
Oh,
Kerala.
no way.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I should know that. Jeez,
Yeah, you should know that.
my
Yeah.
dad would get so mad at me if I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just say India. India is fucking
Mulu.
weird.
He's the OG Mulu. But I think, yeah.
Oh, cool. You know, my dad also told me that Kandahar is Gandhara and
Yeah.
that Azerbaijan is Azerbaijan.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
yeah, there's so many places in Russia that have actual Sanskrit origin names.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know
actually.
Bukhari, right? It's Sahih Bukhari was like where all the hadiths come from.
Yeah,
Bukhari
yeah.
is Vihari.
Oh my goodness, you are that. I think my dad told me that too. And this is what is so, it's just so wow. Like, I don't know, that's just so cool. Sanskrit is so pervasive and it's everywhere. And
Yes.
that's why when you brought up the Philippines girl who talked about how Hinduism is even in their ancestry or history, and then the Bali, and it's literally everywhere. And I think people will discover that more. And you see, Hinduism is the one, I don't even know if I want to call it a religion, but we should probably, just to get the same kind of, I don't know, it's the same kind of recognition perhaps in the Western world.
I agree.
Um,
But look, this is what we're doing. Honestly, the platform has grown. We've been inspiring a lot of Indians, to rediscover Hinduism with the things that Duke and I are doing, and now Lando's here, and Paula's here just to be a troll. It's all good. But it's like, but it's no, but I love the dynamic we got going on. So it's like, we've done so much, and I like the work we do in inspiring people. Oh, and Spinoza. Spinoza, a little filthy atheist.
Can't forget Spinoza down there.
But like, bringing people back and just inspiring a lot of Indians to come rediscover what it means to be Hindu is some of the work that I love to do, and I'm going to continue. It's only going to escalate from here. So,
Well, what's the great quote by Savarkar, right? I don't fear Muslims. I don't fear Christians. I fear Hindus against themselves, right?
Yeah, you couldn't have said anything truer,
Yeah.
Lando.
And I just see that truth more and more.
Yep.
Well, I definitely like some of the stories you were saying today, Sammy, about, because the stories are fundamental, even though I don't think, unless you're Hindu, you would really understand some of the concepts within those stories. And then, of course, some of the songs you were singing. And it's just kind of, it's very complex, so hard for the average person to kind of understand.
yeah. Do you speak Malayalam?
Enika Malayalam Ariam.
Oh,
Fat. I have a terrible accent, but Enika
Okay.
Param Wenam. I can say a few. Like, I mean, if I say things, it's just I don't have the ra and the la. I don't have the for the alphabet. Just the differentiation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to learn Hindi, and retroflexes are killing me.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how do I keep my tongue back there for like?
Exactly. I can't do that. How do you, yeah, I wish I could. And so I'm trying to find an Indian language that I can learn. So I think I'm trying to learn. I mean, obviously, I know my Sanskrit prayers, the ones that I grew up with, like, like the Namaste Mahamaya, like Mahalakshmi Namaste, those kind of things. I know the prayers, but and Malayalam, I can understand, and I try to, but maybe Hindi and Sanskrit I'm going to try to focus on. And,
Sure, for sure. It's funny. I mean, because even if you understand Malayalam, like I'm Telugu, by the way, so our languages, Malayalam and Telugu, are like so hyper Sanskritized, right? Like 90% of our words are Sanskrit.
Oh yeah. So that's why I could understand some of what you were saying, because I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds kind of like Malayalam.
Yeah, but I was thinking Tamil, and Tamil is also just like Malayalam.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but it's both, right? It's a little bit of it's a devotional prayer, so you'll have a little bit of Sanskrit, a little bit of Tamil. So it's
that's
but yeah, it's probably why you probably understood a lot of it for sure.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was wondering, I was like listening to it, and yeah, you're right. If it's got because Malayalam has a lot of the Sanskrit in it. Um, yeah, so Telugu has a lot of Sanskrit too, or
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 90% of words are Sanskrit. Like, I'm sure you understand some words, but pustakam. Like we use that word a lot, like especially studying. Pustakam
uh,
means book, and
Or are you
Telugu.
oh
floating
yeah,
around
yeah,
zero
yeah.
gravity,
That's
bro?
right. That's our same word.
Yeah, same word, right?
Yeah. Now that you said book, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That is
Yeah,
book.
I know.
We don't say it the same way, but
Yeah,
yeah,
probably
we
say
do.
pustakam is more of
Yeah,
it.
we
Yeah,
do.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we got
cool.
that. Yeah. So like we'll find so many words like that. I don't know. There's a lot. I can't think. I can go on forever. Another word like medicine, we say oshadam. That's like medicine for us. So
That
It's
sounds
really
familiar.
crazy. It's really crazy how much Sanskrit like influences like even Slavic languages. Like I'm Czech. Like my family comes from Czechia, and like to know, like I know is like vidim, and Veda, like Veda or Vedam, in like
yeah,
is knowledge. It says to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what the hell? Like this is on the other side of the planet.
I have a
The,
friend
the
who's
roots there.
Lithuanian, and Lithuanian language has a lot of Sanskrit
Yeah,
in
the
it.
Balto-Slavic languages, and they say why that is because the Balto-Slavic languages as a tree are the least like outside influenced, right? So they're like the oldest in terms of not being corrupted, right? Over like not being influenced by other outside. Lithuanian the most so. So like Lithuanian is the closest to what we call as linguists Proto-Indo-European, but there's some theories that Proto-Indo-European may have just been like a type of Sanskrit, which I kind of believe,
and
honestly.
sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if you look at Zoroastrianism, they have Mitra, which there's the sun. We have the same,
Right.
Mitra is sun in Sanskrit too. So I think it's kind of cool. I mean, like I said, when I was learning like chemistry and all of that, I guess I also wanted to study Latin, but then I studied French because I can speak French. But it's just it all goes back to Sanskrit. It really does in the end, all of it. So it's just nice to see that, that connection.
Right. That's so cool. Yeah, our language is everywhere. And it
Yeah,
really shows you like we got everything in our
we
yeah.
do. Isn't that so neat? I mean, and I think it just brings everyone together, and we don't have to make God some man in the sky. I mean, it could be man, it could be woman, it could be animal, it could be everything. It doesn't have to be just a man. And, women are not just a half-brained, nothing. We're equivalent. We're just all human,
Right.
not anything else. So sorry, I just had to put in. I just wanted to.
No, it's all good. For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, man. Bala, you still there, man?
Yo, what's up? I'm getting my steps in.
You getting your steps in? That's
Hmm.
good. What are you just pacing around your place?
Yeah, just got 10,500 steps.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm yawning. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap. Don't wrap. Thanks guys for coming through, guys. Drop the like, drop a follow. This is my first live since we are gonna get some people on to come on live. Yo, Nai and Malika, if y'all are still there, can y'all say something? I think Malika went to sleep, but Nai, type in the chat. I want everyone to follow Nai. 39 people, 39 followers. Even though I think some of y'all already do. Nai, say something. This is a great reply. Oh, great live. Oh yeah, for sure. No, this was a great live. Guys, you see Nai saying hi with way too many eyes. Drop a follower. Yo, Maple, that's your Malu sister. So thank you, Malu. At double.
Did you say Malu sister?
Yeah, I was cringe. I'm sorry. I'm late. But Anyways, everyone you see Nai, just give her a follow. I'm trying to get her live access too. So for sure. See, Maple has 194 and she has live access. It can happen. Gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know how many you need.
I don't know how many you need. It said 200 didn't work. I just got it for 300 on my other account. So I think it's just different. But we're gonna try. We're gonna aim for 200. 200 is the number we'll go for.
Huh.
Yeah. It's not bad.
If you got a US IP, you need 1,000.
What?
Yeah, because everything sucks.
I have a US IP.
I have a US. I'm in the US.
Well, 1,000 to host, I think. No, it's
Yeah,
1,000.
host.
Is it 1,000 for the
It's-
channel too?
It says so. I put a ticket and it said you need 1,000 to join lives, the guest, and I'm like okay, but then I ended up being able to join as guest.
Oh, okay.
So and I have like 333, I think, something like that.
Oh, weird.
But
'Cause
Sammy, you see mine, right? So how
Yeah,
come?
194. Yeah, even less.
I have
Maybe,
1,000.
maybe they like me more.
They do. They do. It's the Canadian. That's why.
It's got to be the Canadian,
Yeah.
definitely. The Canadian, Indian American.
Are you from West Coast or East Coast?
West Coast, all the way West Coast.
Oh, Surrey.
Hey, let's go.
Not Surrey. I am, but I know Surrey very well. But West Vancouver.
West
Yeah.
Oh, you fancy West Vancouver.
I am.
Okay.
It is fancy. Yeah. Yeah. From there to Cali, California. So.
Yeah, very.
No. Well, I have a mighty fine Toronto accent. Toronto man's accent.
Wait, Toronto? Really?
That is such a disgusting accent. Like, as someone who grew up in Toronto, like that's just disgusting. Like, I don't know where that came from.
Yo, man, what are you saying, pal? What are you saying?
Yeah, wagwan, wagwan.
You know, are you blessed? You blessed, fam?
Oh my
So
god.
disgusting. So disgusting.
Ew, I hate it already.
Yo, pal. Yo, wallahi,
Yeah,
say you're
is,
blessed.
this is why I also ran away to California.
Yeah. No, people from Vancouver, if you're born there, we have like our accent is more, it's kind of unlike any other Canadian. We do say A, but ours is more like Washington State. I think our accent is similar to Washington State.
I got the classic like northern Midwestern accent. Like,
oh yeah.
I'll be like, I lost my phone on the boat, and I didn't find my phone. I dropped my phone.
Yeah.
And sometimes I hear it, like I can't really hear it, but sometimes like if there's those long O words, I'll hear it.
Yeah, it comes out.
I also have the cot merger, which is a linguistic thing where like a cot that you sleep on is the same pronunciation as you caught a fish. Cot.
Oh.
Where most English people and East Coasters will say like a cot is something you sleep on, but you caught with a longer like an A sound. Caught a fish. I sleep on a cot. But for us Midwesterners, it's the same thing. I caught a fish and I sleep on a cot.
Oh, weird.
All right, guys. I do have to grab it. It's like 2 a.m.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Bedtime.
Namaskaram, everyone.
Namaskaram.
Much love and peace.
Yeah. All right, guys.
good
You
night.
guys take care. I just want to end it with this is a quick thing. I always say this. I always make it a reminder that everything that we do on this live, all the knowledge that we do, like we're all standing on the shoulders of giants. All the people before it, right? All the martyrs that we've had, who have been unalived by invaders, protecting this, fighting off the Mughals, the Sultanates, all the Muslim empires, the British, the Portuguese, all of it. All the intellectuals, right, from mathematics, Aryabhatta, all of that, to Adi Shankaracharya, to Ramanujanacarya, to even Madhavacharya. All of these people have contributed to the culmination of all the knowledge and philosophy, all the samhitas, all the shrutis, and that allows us to be here today to carry on. We're just torchbearers to all of it. And of course, all grace to Sarada Amma, to Saraswati, for giving out the divine knowledge. So always make that clear, right? This is Vande Guru Parampara, right? And we not might not be in a Guru Parampara, but all the gurus, you know, Guru Bhyo Namaha, exactly. Hari Om Guru Bhyo Namaha, Hari Om. Um, to all the gurus, absolutely. So that's what it's all been about. So nothing we ever do here belongs to us. It all belongs to the Supreme. It all belongs to the array of gurus. So I'll make that clear, guys. Yeah. All right, guys. Armand, what's up, dude? We're about to wrap up. But Armand, if you want to drop a follow, then next time we go live and answer your questions, we can talk. I appreciate it. Also, let them know. Let the nomads of the world know we're here, man. We're here. Boy thought he can come on, start clowning us, and look at that. Look what happened, man. This guy, we it's so much fun. So, yo, we're gonna let them know. We're gonna let the nomads of TikTok know that, yo, Dharma's on the map. Hinduism talks on the map. The Dharma diaspora is on the map. Sammy Vada, Watson, Squad. So, um, yeah, we're gonna keep these going. We're gonna keep these going. Probably gonna go live tomorrow or the day after. I think the man